In this video, we're going to make a program that takes in a numeral, like an Arabic numeral, like the ones we're used to using, and converts it into a binary numeral, which is a bunch of ones and zeros, and displays that for the user. So the first thing we need to do is take in a number. Notice I already have the import here at the top so I can create a scanner. So let's make a method for this. So public int, it's going to return the integer that the user inputs. Let's call it getNumeral. And we'll comment getNumeral down here. Alright, first thing we need to do is create a scanner. So scanner input equals new scanner system.in. And next let's tell the user what's going on. So this program takes in a number and outputs a binary number. And then we'll need to tell them to enter a number, so enter a number. And let's make that on the same line, so we'll get rid of the line there. And the red here is kind of bugging me, so, well, actually, we'll get rid of it as we go along. So let's say int binary equals, or no, this is not a binary. Int numeral equals input.next int. I don't know why I was thinking about calling that binary. And then we'll return the numeral. If I can spell that right. Numeral. Oh. That was obvious, the problem there was. So we now got, this method will give us a numeral. So we need another method to actually do the calculating, so we'll just return it as a string. So public string, let's say convert to binary. It'll take in an integer. We'll just call it num. I don't feel like typing out numeral. I'll probably mess that up a few more times if I do. And we'll say convert to binary. Make a comment there so we know what's going on. In the beginning of this, I'm just going to create a string s, and then we'll say return s. Oh, and we'll set the string equal to really nothing at all there. And this will just get rid of those annoying red lines that tells us we aren't returning something, because we're now returning really an empty string. But we'll change the string inside this method. So this is only going to work with for an 8-digit binary number. So we need to figure out the bounds of this. The biggest 8-digit binary number is 255. The smallest is 0. So we'll say if num is greater than 0, or if num is less than 0, or num is greater than 255, we'll say, we'll just tell the user invalid number. Let's see what else we need to do. So the program would really just stop there. But what if it's not one of those numbers? We would say, let's see. Otherwise, we'll do this up here. We'll say that, let's see, how should we do this? We will need a current sum, so int current sum equals 0. And we'll need a temporary sum, and I'm going to make this a double. You'll see why in just a minute. The temporary sum is going to be used to calculate, and I'm going to have that inside a power function. So I'll need that to be a double. I can't put an integer into a power function, at least not in Java. Probably can in a few other languages. So now I should start the for loop. So for int I equal 8, while I is greater than 0, we'll iterate I downwards for int I equal 8. And then what should we do in here? First we need to figure out the temporary sum. So temp sum will be equal to it's capital M, math.pow, and we need to figure out, this program is going to figure out the binary number by taking the first digit in the binary number, which would be equal to 2 to the 7th, and it's going to figure out if we need to use that number as 1 or 0. Anyways, let's see, math.pow, we'll say 2, I minus 1, because we need 2 to the 7th first. And that'll be all we need for temp sum. So if temp sum plus current sum is less than or equal to num, which is our target number, we need to make the number a 1. So we'll say, take the binary string, I called that string s equals s plus 1. And if that's not true, we would put a 0 there. So s equals s plus 0. I'm sorry, 0 like that. So this should be working fine. Oh yeah, and at the end of this we are returning s. So s will be the binary. I'm actually just going to call it binary. Gonna replace that with all the s's real quick. This will make it easier to read along with whenever people are reading this. So that makes it easier to figure out what's going on. So now that we have these two methods working, we actually need to call them. Normally I would use a third method and call it driver or something to do all this and just call that one method. But it's a short program, so I'll just do it inside here. We'll say int number equals get numeral. Numeral should be numeral. Oh, sorry, that's inside the main, so it should be joey.getNumeral. And then I want to send that number inside the convert to binary method. So we'll say, and it's going to output a string, so string binary equals joey.convert to binary, and I will send in the number. I'll send in the number to that, and then I just want to print the string, so binary. Run this program to make sure it works. Enter a number. So the biggest the number can be is 255, so 255 should give me all ones. And that's 8 1, so that's working. And I'll just test this with a few more numbers. Let's see. To get all 0, if I put in a 0, it should give me all zeros. What else can I do? If I put in a 1 there, that should be 128 plus 32, so this should give me 156. Actually, let's make it 157. So 150, if I put in 157, it should give me that right there, what I typed, so. Run that one more time, not sure why it did that. Alright, so there is a problem with this program. I'm going to pause it for a second and figure out what it is. Alright, we're back and found the problem. Over here, I was not changing the temp sum, or the current sum. So, in this if statement, I need to change the current sum, so current sum plus equal temp sum. So that should fix it. What this is doing is, this whole program right here, or this part of it, is trying to get the current sum to equal the, num. And I'm keep adding on the temp sum to that. So let me run this again. So what was it before? If I wanted that, that would give me 128, 156, 157. So if I type in 157, I should get that. 57. Well, maybe my math was wrong. Let me think about this one more time. Hold on. Alright, turns out my math was wrong just a minute ago. I went online, found a calculator where someone already did this, and tested my numbers against theirs. And this program that I'm doing seems to be working. I can't find any flaws in it. If you see any, let me know, and I'll fix those. Probably mention it in, like, comment or something. Anyways, I do appreciate you watching this video. There's a like button down below if you'd like to click that, I'd appreciate it. And if these videos are helping you learn Java, if you want to share it with your friends, I'm sure they would appreciate that. So, other than that, thanks for watching.